Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is PsychoGold, this is PsychoGold Videos, and today it's time to check out the latest episode of Overlord, and I can't wait for this. After the amazing last couple of episodes, when Syiance has been reminding us just why he is the ruler of Nazarick, and just why we all might like him, but you probably should be a little bit afraid of him. The last episode ended on one hell of a cliffhanger, as he sent Lady Aura and Mare, for all the people who were complaining that I say Mare, alright, to go and give his regards to the neighbouring kingdom that was stupid enough to think that they could walk into Nazarick and take a look under the hood. It ended with them causing an earthquake, bringing a dragon into the middle of the capital, and telling them that if the Emperor doesn't go and apologise to Lord Syiance, that they would return and flatten the country. Not the city, not their armies, the entire country. And the thing is, regardless of what the Emperor might think, I think we all know that Nazarick is more than capable of doing it. Now, some people seem to think that I'm vastly underestimating the power of some of the people who exist in this new world. I'm not. I'm not saying that they could, One Punch Man their way through everyone on this world, but I genuinely don't think it's a contest if it's an army of Nazarick versus anyone else. Yes, there might be some individuals who have the power to stand up against the forces of Nazarick, however, those individuals would then go up against the Guardians, who are stupidly powerful, level 80 pluses, I'm led to believe, and they'd have to take out Syiance himself. Now, if you add that to the ridiculous hordes of monsters and forces that Nazarick has acquired, I really don't see any one country being able to match Nazarick. Could they match them if they all joined forces? I don't know. Could they match them if they were to use these legendary items that have, been mentioned but not really explained? Possibly. But the only way we'll know that is to actually see what happens next. So without further ado, let's dive into this week's episode and see how the kingdom is going to respond to the latest development in Nazarick. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh! Oh! What? Oh, okay, so now they're fixing the earthquake to demonstrate their power? Alright, please don't expect me to remember that name, guys. Oh wow, he's actually gonna go and do it. I really didn't think he would. Okay. Chapter 9. The War of Words. Oh, okay, so some time must have passed from that last moment that we just saw. Oh! Oh yeah, right, because they purged all of the nobles. I think it's time for a recruitment drive. Oh, okay, so there are several other kingdoms that we haven't really delved into yet from the sounds of it. Oh! Okay, that's interesting. So she's not going to lay down her life if the situation comes to it. Very interesting. Oh, Lupus and Yuri. There's two you don't want to mess with. Not that we've really seen much from Yuri, though I would like to at some point. I suspect that the old man is going to be the one to work out straight away that, the Death Knight. Oh, the Death Knights, plural! Brilliant! The old man himself can't get one of them to do what they're told. He's gonna give himself a heart attack. He's having a complete mental breakdown. Oh, he's already worked it out. He's already realized just how completely outclassed he is. Oh, he's putting on a show. Oh, he's also not hiding the fact he's undead. And all the Guardians are here, and someone I don't recognize. This is different. He doesn't normally reveal the fact that he's undead. I thought he was going to be wearing his mask. None of them seem particularly fazed by it either. Oh, of course! Demiurge just changed his appearance because people might recognize him. Whoa! Oh! The Emperor didn't go down. Ah, he's in his full diplomat work. He's in full diplomat work. Oh, Jesus Christ. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Oh yeah, what will he do with it? Oh! Did he just turn it? He turned a head into a full Death Knight! Okay. Yeah, that was impressive. Oh! I mean, he could strike an alliance with them. He doesn't need to, but it would be one way to ensure one side would stay, you know, quiet, in inverted commas. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Why on earth would he give up one of his guardians? A day worthy of becoming a public holiday. Interesting. Wait, I'm confused. I thought Demiurge went with the others. Syiance doesn't have any other plans. He's doing Here we go again. That was the castle of a demon king. Death was indeed sitting on that throne. I mean, I don't think he would necessarily... Yep, I agree. Human... I don't really think that he would actually just go out and kill people just for the sake of it. Though his guardians would. What? Wait. Are they saying that he's been... Oh, it was him who suggested going into that tomb, wasn't it? Wait, so he's in league with Nazarick? Yes, that's exactly what I said before we started watching the Empire, before we started watching the episode. Oh, very good, Emperor. Yeah, you would do that. Oh, yes. Yep, that's exactly where Demiurge's plan was going, because I said as much in the Overlord stream I did last week. Oh, well, there you go. There's something pretty much confirmed already. That they are working with Princess Renner. I don't think the Love King is going to be the sort of title that they want. Just calling him king would be enough. The Supreme King. Eh. Say hello to the Sorcerer King. A reference people expected me to get when I watched the very first episode of Season 1. Ah. Is this the past? Oh! Showing him his aura. Oh! He's calling him a god. So many of the things we said in the stream last week have just been proven in this episode. It's brilliant. Ha! Huh. He knows he knows he knows. Oh, that's interesting. In this instance, he is almost the good guy, but not. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Overlord Season 3, Episode 9, and what another fantastic episode from a fantastic series! No, I don't know what's going on with me either. I'm a bit hyper today, so don't worry about it. Anyway, I really enjoyed that episode. I thought that was great. I really enjoyed the War of Words. I really liked the way that they set everything up with the presentation. Bringing out all the Death Knights to essentially be their waiters was just a perfect way to demonstrate their power in a way of which the people of that land could understand. And something that I found I personally found amusing was the fact that the 4 Black Guards said, you know, even if we were to work together, the best in all the land, we would struggle to beat one of those Death Knights. And it's like, the Death Knights aren't your problem, mate. It's the 2 maids that are standing in front of you. They are a lot stronger than those Death Knights. And that moment in the throne room, man, when he made a Death Knight right in front of them just from the head of that noble, I have no idea how that works. There's some serious alchemy going on there to make a full-blown Death Knight out of a severed head. But my god, that was a cool moment. The Sorcerer King, indeed. As far as the actual why can't I say that word? As far as the actual diplomacy of the episode was concerned, I really enjoyed the fact that the Emperor, we really got to see how he thinks, how he works, and a lot of people said that I would probably like his character once they started showing it off, and you're right, I do. I really like hearing his inner thoughts. I think he's a very good opponent for Syiance, but not necessarily a good opponent for Demiurge, and as we just witnessed, Demiurge has pretty much predicted exactly what he's going to do. Now the funny thing is I actually agree with Demiurge that intelligent men are quite often easier to predict than fools because they're intelligent. So you can 9 times out of 10 expect them to do the intelligent thing, whereas fools are really hard to predict because they'll do something so incredibly stupid that you won't actually prepare for it, and it just might work. But in this case, the Emperor is too smart for his own good and is doing exactly what both Demiurge and Albedo said he was going to do. I'm a little bit disappointed in the fact that Syiance didn't appear to have seen that coming. Now the rest of Demiurge's, ideas about Momon, I as well thought that that was Syiance's plan. Like, I even said that, like I said, in the live stream that we did after the episode last week. And I really am surprised sometimes by just how slow Syiance is. Like, after nearly 3 seasons of this, you'd think Syiance would at least be a little bit better at this. I mean, he's really good at bluffing his way through situations and role-playing the Overlord. And he's very intelligent in his own way, but his forward thinking when it comes to his strategies, I do think sometimes that it's just the comical effect that they love doing that moment where everybody else thinks he's amazing and in truth he's just like, what are you people talking about? I have no idea what's going on! And I just think that that could be something that, as time goes on, as funny as it is, I would like it if we could actually see Syiance make some of the plans and actually be the Overlord. But I get that that's not the point, at least not yet. I also really like the fact that the Guardians themselves really do struggle to keep in check, even though Syiance has told them to stay quiet. I do think that when Shaltir and Demiurge both stepped out of line, that every now and then he just needs to kind of remind them that he is the Overlord. And, you know, they wanted them to punish Shaltir for her actions, and she wanted it as well. And I can't help but think that very, very occasionally he does kind of need to put his foot down with the Guardians. Like, he wants them to have their own minds, he wants them to have opinions. Yes, they're all completely loyal to him. But at the same time, there are occasions where they're more like his unruly children than his lieutenants of his army and his guardians of his tomb. And in my opinion, I think if he's not careful, they're going to stop being as disciplined as they were in the first season, because obviously, as time goes on, their free will is growing. I don't think we'll ever get to a stage where they're going to start going against anything that Syiance says, but I do think that, you know, they could inadvertently cause a problem that he wasn't ready for just because they've said something or done something that he didn't want them to do, or that was not part of the plan. A bit like in the first season, Shaltir, you know, went off in her vampire blood rage and she fell straight into the trap that caused her to be trapped and then mind controlled, albeit she did manage to kill the person so that she wasn't actually under anyone's control. She was basically a raid boss at that point, but even so, it is one of those things that I can just see happening again in the future if they, and as a direct result Syiance, are more careful. I also loved that moment at the end that we just saw where it was revealed that, you know, the head magic caster for the Empire is actually pledged his allegiance to Lord Syiance, and I can't blame him. I mean, we saw the reaction of the girl in the previous episode when Syiance took his ring off and she saw the ridiculous amount of power that he has and how much he keeps it dampened. So when someone like him, who is considered to be this big, powerful sorcerer that can single-handedly keep other countries at bay, and he is, you know, he understands how outclassed he is. The interesting thing was he did a really good job of acting in the beginning like he didn't know, and then he kind of had a nervous breakdown, and it was very... I was thinking, like, that was a very strong reaction. Yes, seeing all those Death Knights under his control, I was expecting a reaction from him, but I was like, he is assuming a lot. Like, just because he has a high level control of summoned items doesn't mean he could control teleportation magic. He can change the weather, but just because he has access to one spell, does that mean he has, you know, he's not necessarily got the knowledge of all spells. And I think knowing that he actually already knew that Syiance is, you know, a god 10th level caster without, you know, breaking a sweat, that makes the episode far more interesting, seeing his reactions and his lack of input when it came to everything that was going on in the episode. You know, he's probably conflicted himself because obviously he raised the Emperor from the sounds of it, and he was his teacher and advisor from a very young age, and now he's essentially betraying him because of his lust for magic. And I think that's a really cool storyline, and I hope we get to develop it more. We also got the bombshell, and some people said that I should have worked it out in my livestream last week, but I really didn't see the connection. I thought that they were going to at some point, but I didn't really think it was obvious enough. But in this episode, we have pretty much got confirmation that Princess Renner is also in league with Nazarek, and that in itself is making me think, though they have agents in the other countries that we haven't yet seen much of, like the Slain Theocracy, which we did see some brief glimpses of in Season 1, and I think we saw them briefly in Season 2 as well. Because I know they've got some pretty powerful people on their side, and they might even have a potential high-level person among their ranks who might be able to give some of our characters a run for their money. But I would be very interested to know just how well infiltrated Nazaryk's influence has gotten into the world. We often don't see everything that they're doing, we just kind of see snapshots, and I really want to know just what else is going on. Which again is just making me more interested in reading the light novels, and I recently got my hands on Volume 1 of a digital copy. I still want to buy the physical copies, but I do now have a digital copy of the official translation. Someone linked me to the fan translations by Nigel, and I'm going to read the official translation, and I'm going to review that. But I might also cast my eyes over the fan translation and not necessarily do a separate review for it, but I might just briefly mention what I thought was different, which one I preferred in my main review of the official translation. Now, I don't know when that's going to drop yet, so don't expect that this week, because it's probably not going to be this week. I've got to read it yet. But yeah, this episode just made me even more hyped to check out the light novel. I'm really looking forward to reading it. This episode, man, also gave us that epic moment at the end where "All hail the Sorcerer King, for he has arrived. Blessed is he who worships the great Sorcerer King, Lord Ein Zalgon." I suspect that next week's episode is going to be absolutely amazing as well, and I am so hyped to see where the series is going, because obviously there are unfortunately less episodes to go than have aired now. We are getting ever closer to the finale of Season 3, assuming that this season has the same number of episodes as the previous two, which is 13, I believe it does. But I haven't actually officially looked or checked or anything, so I could be wrong. But I believe it's 13. That was episode 9, so we've got 3 more to go. I suspect that every episode is just going to be building up and building up and building up until we have something that's going to happen in episode 13, or possibly even episode 12, because most of the time Overlord's finales do seem to be two-parters, so 10 and 11...
A few moments later.
Yeah, sorry, we've got 4 episodes left to go, I can count. So yeah, episodes 10 and 11 will probably be setting up and carrying on, and then, you know, 12 and 13 will probably be the quote-unquote finale, and then leave us on another cliffhanger that will all be going, when the hell is Season 4? But that's not this episode. Like I said, guys, I really enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys did too. If you did, please leave likes, let me know that you liked it. You all seem to really like my last previous reaction in my review at the end of it, so let me know what you thought of this one down in the comment section below. Let me know how you thought this episode did, how well it adapted the light novel, and all the other good stuff that you guys always do, and I will read your comments. I don't know if there's going to be a live stream this evening, guys, but if there is, feel free to come and check it out with me. It will probably be pretty soon after I upload this, because I am already running late on this episode, so I don't know when you're going to get this, but if there's a live stream, this will go live first. So if not, guys, all that's remaining for me to do is to say that I am Psycho Gold, and if you're new around here, don't forget to click that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Psycho Gold, out.